just start off and tell me just a bit about you. Who are you?
Okay.
What do you do with your life?
Okay.
You know, outside of any of the stuff we're going to be talking about, just introduce yourself.
Okay, well, hello there. My name is Barry Cummins. I'm 42 years old. Obviously, I'm born a man. I'm a man. Lived in London my entire life, and I work for local authorities. Done that for many years. Been driving around the country, serving people with doing housing benefits, doing appeals tribunals, and so on. I've been enjoying it, but now I've moved on into homelessness. That's quite interesting.
And what do you like to do outside of work?
Outside of work, I cycle and go to the gym. I've always been sort of a gym goer. I stopped for many years with my driving around and stuff. Ended up putting on quite a bit of weight, got to about 20 stone. And after I actually got ill, I plugged myself a bit more into my exercise, got a bicycle, stopped driving, and I do that, lost weight, do spin all the time. That's me now.
And how's your health right now?
In general, my health is well. I still have some minor issues. I'm taking my medication, so that manages the majority of my situation. But in general, I'm generally fit and well.
You wear planes?
Baines. Can I shut the window?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Well, let's jump into talking. We've already kind of chatted a lot. Jump into talking about it. I guess what I'd like to do in quite a clunky way is just kind of go through the journey, sort of right from the beginning, and just kind of follow it all through. So, do you want to tell me when you first noticed symptoms?
All right. So, when I think of things in retrospect, so I'll start off where I found out that I was ill, which is quite an interesting story. I got a new pair of glasses, and I thought that they were misty at the sides. I thought that there was an issue with the glasses. My vision at the side was getting a bit grey. By the end of the week, so it was by about Thursday, I noticed that the field of vision had decreased to quite a thin, narrow line. So at that point, I sort of looked online, started worrying, panicking, read some stuff about a detached retina. So I thought, well, I'll give 9, whatever it was at the time, I'll give them a call. Emergency services told me that I should get an MRI. So I popped myself over to King's, at which point they told me I had a massive tumour to my pituitary gland, and that was crushing my optic chiasm and therefore causing a reduced field vision. So at that point, it was, right, we're now going to start treating you. At first they didn't know. They mentioned I had a pituitary macro adenoma, I think it was called, but I had no idea what that was. So I went home, did some research, and found out that actually it's a brain tumour. So when you Google it, and the first thing that comes up is Macmillan Cancer Care. Why are you telling me about Macmillan? Do you know what I mean? That's the first thing that came to my mind. But so I obviously realised it was much more serious than I had thought it was in the first instance. So and then looking at the symptoms and what it was actually doing. So what it was actually doing is it was increasing the amount of female hormone. Is it progesterone? I think progesterone. It was increasing the level of progesterone in my system. So that was about 30 times higher than it was supposed to be. So my system was completely flooded with female hormones. When I realised that that's what the situation was, I sort of started looking backwards on life previously. And I'd been in a relationship for many years prior to that point. I was split up with my ex about 2 years before. I have 2 children from that relationship, and they were now, at that point, they were 10, no, they were about 9, 8 at the time, maybe 7. So I'd recognised that actually there'd been a complete drop in my sexual activity for some years. I just had no interest. I didn't really put it down to anything. I do remember also that at one point, many years earlier, my ex had said to me that I've got some sort of leakage on my nipple. And we never really worked out what it was. But she could see it coming out, and it looked sort of like liquid, and well, what's this?